Hello there guys and welcome, it is Niran here, and today it is time for something slightly different. Today, Codemasters uploaded a hot lap video of Fernando Alonso on board, well, it's sort of occasionally on board, going around Bahrain at night time. Now a lot of people have done an analysis. I wanted to do an analysis. Just in case you haven't seen the trailer, I will show that in the video. There'll also be a link in the description to the official video uploaded by Codemasters. But yeah, it was simply showing off the audio of course, the new cars, the new F1 cars that we have this season in 2014. It's going to be very interesting to see how they adapt to that. They seem to have done a pretty good job, but for now, I'll let you watch the trailer and make up your own mind of how they sound and actually how they look as well, with all the camera angles that have been updated and the track updated graphics as well. Okay, so that was the trailer that Codemasters uploaded or released today. Now, in my opinion, I actually really like it. It's mainly to show off the audio, obviously, because we don't get to see many of the cars going around at the same time, obviously being a hot lap. But for me, the audio sounds really quite realistic. In recent F1 games, it's been pretty good, but sort of a bit dull at the same time, not really getting the most out of it. But obviously with the rule changes this year, Codemasters could go a little bit ham in changing things up quite a lot. For me, it does sound really good. I love those little engine wisps or from the turbos that you get under braking and down the straights as well when it pans to an onboard shot looking behind. I don't know if you'll be able to hear that on board. I'm really hoping you can. Just as a little note for this video, I am mainly going to talk about the audio. A little bit later on, I'll talk about the visuals of the track and the such like, but it will be mainly the audio that I go through. But yeah, the engine wisps, the turbo wisps, or whatever, do sound absolutely stunning from behind. I'm really hoping you can hear that, though, on board, because obviously most people operate from the T-cam or on-board camera. So hopefully you can feel the force of that from behind, and really, that sounded wrong. That sounded really wrong, feeling the force of that from behind. Nevertheless, that was not what I was intending to sound it like. The point is, it just sounds really good. Going down into that long sweeping left-hand corner that everyone locks up at, which is another thing I need to get onto, actually. It just sounds beautiful. It really does sound beautiful. You can also hear the locking up now, as well as you can in real life, because obviously, yeah, obviously you can hear the locking up in real life with the very much quieter engines, the V6 engines, correct me if I'm wrong. To be honest, I don't know a huge amount sometimes about the dynamics of the actual cars, the mechanics of the cars, but I do believe it's the V6 engines. They sound a lot quieter, and therefore you can hear the crowd, as shown on the hot lap as well. You can occasionally hear the crowd, especially going down the start-finish straight, although you can on F1 2013 as well, which was in some ways a little bit unrealistic, because you couldn't really. The sound of the engine really overpowered that, but certainly that's something there's a feature of F1 2014 that you get the atmosphere of the crowd as well. So that's very interesting. You hear the lockups as well, so that's really cool. really good to see as well. So the audio's looking very good, to be honest. The nice little turbo wisps, the fact that you can hear the engines lock up, it's not just a visual thing anymore. And yeah, I think they're on point with this, with the engine sound as well. The overall engine sound, maybe a little bit high, but you can hear it better when it's high, so I don't really mind, in all honesty. Moving on to the visuals in it slightly. Now we had a sort of had the camera replays, or the replay cameras even. And if that's what they're going to be like on the actual game, I'm quite excited, because I love doing sort of cinematic shots and stuff for various series, and they looked pretty good. There's one where they're going down the hill, that cascading section of the Bahrain track that Fernando Alonso plummeted down, of course, at night, being a night track nowadays. And yeah, I mean, it looked brilliant, did the replay camera, so I'm hoping it will be similar to that on F1 2014, a big upgrade and a big improvement from F1 2013, which camera angles were a little bit repetitive, just following the cars really. And obviously there was a big step as well for Grid Autosport, which had a lot better cameras as well. In terms of the visuals of the track, I actually think they're a better improvement of the visuals of the car. The visuals of the car look a little bit just like a revamped version of F1 2013. It's obviously, it is going to be like that because it's on current gen. It's not on next gen, this game. For those of you who didn't know, they'll be releasing F1 2015 on next gen, and F1 2014 will be staying on current gen, but F1 2015 will be will be released earlier on in the year. So that's understandable that we're not going to be getting huge upgrades in terms of graphics for the cars. But they do look pretty good. They look pretty on point, but not, you know, excessively amazing. Although at the end of the trailer, obviously you got a little bit of a cinematic shot of Bahrain at night, and that did look really good, and the track looks very good. So in terms of visuals of everything else, it looks brilliant, actually. In terms of the track, just the cars looks a little bit the same as F1 2013, but obviously the game might be a lot better. I would love more competitive AI in terms of that. But in terms of what I want, that's something for a different video. But yeah, I think just one quick note about the handling as well. Obviously, some people have been complaining that it doesn't quite look too realistic, but it was an AI car driving. It wasn't actually a real person, you know, slamming out the rear end of the car, you know, drifting around and really, you know, trying. Obviously, there's less downforce on these new F1 cars, so a lot of people were complaining that the car didn't look like that. But at the end of the day, it was an AI that would usually be lapping about 5 seconds slower. So that explains that. And yeah, so you can't really draw a huge amount from the handling overall from that trailer, but mostly about the audio. Overall, I'm pretty impressed with the trailer. I think it's very good, in my opinion. So feel free to leave your opinions in the comments section below as well. I'd love to hear what you guys think of that hot lap and the audio and the visuals, of course, as well. It was mainly about the audio, but there are visuals, of course, as well. Nevertheless, it's been a pleasure ranting at you guys today. I hope you have a brilliant day. Like and subscribe if you enjoyed. Comment about enjoying it if you enjoyed the video that much. It's been a pleasure ranting at you guys today. Have a brilliant day. Enjoy yourselves, and goodbye.